You've been reading all the books. You've been watching all the YouTube videos. You've been listening to the podcasts. Everything around self-development, spirituality, mindfulness. And still when shit hits the fan and something happens, you manage to fall into a dark hole, a deep well that you can't get out or seem to not get out. Why is that? Why is it that you forget all the tools, everything you've ever learned when you're in a challenging situation? Do you recognize this? I think many people do. I do as well. It's because your brain falls back onto a primal survival instinct. It doesn't care about breathing. It doesn't care about well-being. Your system just wants you to survive. And in that moment, all the tools, everything, all that knowledge doesn't matter. Knowledge isn't what's gonna make you survive in that moment. It just wants to make you feel, it just wants to make sure that you are alive, that your heart is pumping, that you are protected. So your fears take over because your body thinks that fear is what protects you because it's gonna keep you away from all the rest. But then you start to go into a loop. What if I never find something else? What if I never have the money back? What if my body doesn't restore? And you start to spiral down into that dark hole. And then you hit rock bottom. And then when you're at rock bottom, you have a decision to make. Are you gonna lie there and resist everything and just be the victim of like, why am I in this deep pit? Or are you gonna feel what's happening? Are you gonna allow yourself to be there in that darkness? All your body does is protecting you. But you have a choice whether you stay down or you go up again. Because when you realize and you start climbing out, you realize, oh, the pit actually doesn't have control over me. I can choose to stay inside or go out. Okay. But what happens often is you either become a victim and like blame the whole world, like, why me? Or you push it away. You push away the feelings and you start to numb yourself and look for things to do so you wouldn't feel that anymore. So you go to events, you go to people, you call people, you meet up, as long as you're busy, because then you don't feel it. But what if it's okay? What if it's okay to cry? What if it's okay to isolate yourself? What if it's okay to say to someone that's reaching out, thank you for the love that you're giving me, but right now I don't want to talk, I need space for myself. What if you just do that? And learn to be with yourself. And then by climbing like that way, you're going to climb out that hole. And you're going to stand at the side of the hole and look down. Wow, I'm actually in control. I can choose to go in there, but I can also choose to come out. And then next time you are in there, you have an experience that you can fall back onto, like, oh, I was here before. And I know I'm going to get out. I know this isn't forever. That is a really empowering feeling and thought to have. Not to blame yourself, like, oh no, I've had all this knowledge. Why do I still keep falling in that pit? There's nothing to blame. It's just part of the experience. You can't always feel high. You can't always feel low. But you can choose in what state you are most of the time. And it's beautiful analogy. After all doing all that work for so many years, you are in a high frequency state most of the time. So when you drop down, sometimes, not that often, but sometimes, and you fall in your pit, you magnetically and automatically go back to your high frequency state because you're there most of the time. But if you are not aware of it, and you choose the unconscious path of like, why me? Why this? Why that? Never gonna change. Then you're gonna drop down. Your frequency is gonna drop down, and then you're gonna stay in that low vibrational state, which will be your new magnetic state. So that means something good or positive, enjoyable happens. That's a better word. There's no good or bad. There's no positive, negative. But something that you perceive as enjoyable happens, then you go up on the frequency scale, but you will also be pulled down again because your standard frequency is low. So that's why practicing consciousness is so important. That's why when you're in the pit, you become conscious of what's happening. You still are the creator, even when you're lying flat on your back. This feels shit, I'm gonna feel it all, and I know that I'm gonna get through this and that this is temporary. That it's okay to cry, it's okay to feel like crap. And it's also okay to process it by yourself, not to go out everywhere and look for stuff. You can, if that feels right, and if you have the right people around you that can support you, not to victimize or have pity with you, start on the complaining road. So you need to feel really, what do you need? After every encounter, everywhere you go, check in with yourself. Is this what I needed in this moment? Is this what's going to help me climb out this hole? Or am I just running away? You can choose to put the light on. In that darkness, wherever it is, how long you're in there, you can switch on the light. Because when you can see that it's temporary, that you actually have control over what's happening and who, what, when, and it all becomes lighter. And then sometimes you just enjoy it. You can enjoy it. As much as the enjoyable stuff, the darkness can also be enjoyed, because you came to Earth to experience it all. Good, the bad, and the ugly. And I perceive this day as beautiful. No matter if it's sunny or if it's raining, every day is a good day. And that's what I wish for you. And also, remember, that you are epic. Ciao, ciao.